Hi, it's good to be with you once again. I wonder if you know what special day it was on Sunday. It may have been your birthday. It may be that you did some other family celebration. But on the 6th of February, 1952, King George VI sadly died, and Princess Elizabeth, as she was known then, became our Queen. And ever since that day, for the last 70 years, she has dedicated her life to the service of this country and the Commonwealth. I'm going to share a lovely picture of the Queen, which was taken or released by Buckingham Palace on Sunday. And it shows the Queen at work in her study or drawing room with her daily red box, a red box bringing her information from her government so that she's fully abreast of all that is happening in the country and in the wider world. And there in a picture beside her, you can see her dad, King George VI. So Sunday was a bittersweet day for the Queen, because it was the day that she mourns the loss of her father, but also it's the day she became Queen. And she has become the longest serving British monarch. And she is the only monarch in British history to be celebrating their 70th anniversary on the throne, or their platinum jubilee. And at the beginning of June, the whole country, in fact, probably a large part of the world as well, will be celebrating, hopefully in the sunshine, the Queen's platinum jubilee on her official birthday. When the Queen became Queen, she was only 25 years old. And she had never expected to become Queen. Up until 1936, she was just an ordinary princess. Her dad wasn't in line to the throne. He had an older brother. But in 1936, his brother abdicated and her dad became king. And she became Queen. And then at 21 years old, she gave an impassioned speech to the nation and to the Commonwealth of how she was dedicating her life to the service of this country and the Commonwealth. And over the last 70 years, she has encouraged people. She has spoken words of wisdom when the country has needed it. She has advised prime ministers, meeting with them weekly. She has talked, and her family have talked about climate change way before it became such an important issue. She has celebrated the diversity of this country, and she celebrated the diversity of the Commonwealth. She's the most traveled monarch in history, visiting many more countries than anyone else. And everywhere she goes, she draws a crowd. And she encourages people. And it's those informal conversations she has with people that make a lot of difference. So the last 70 years is something to be celebrated. And we celebrate the years that will come with her as our Queen. And throughout her life of service, she has found comfort and strength in her faith, her deep Christian faith. And her life of service is based on that life of service that Jesus implored his followers to do. One example of this was what we call the Last Supper. On the evening that Jesus had his final meal with his friends. And there at that meal, just before they sat down to eat, Jesus took a towel, he took a jug of water and a bowl, and he began to wash his friends' feet. This was a job that servants would do. It wasn't something that a leader would do. And some of the disciples complained and said, Jesus, you shouldn't be doing this. This isn't for you. One such one was Peter. And Jesus insisted, I need to wash your feet. And it was a dirty job. In the land where Jesus was, the ground was dusty, it was hot, and they wore sandals, so their feet would have been really dirty and smelly. But he knelt down and he washed their feet. And at the end of it, he told them, I've set you an example, and you should do what I have done. Jesus was their leader, their teacher, and yet he was also their servant. And he encouraged his friends and his followers to go and do like him and to serve others, not just be their masters, but to serve others in whatever way they can. And still today, people symbolically may have their feet washed in churches on Maundy Thursday. When I was at secondary school, we went on a long walk called a pilgrimage. And I remember going into Hereford Cathedral after walking for the day in our walking boots. And there in the cathedral, our feet were washed and they were smelly. But it was very powerful. Now, I'm not saying we need to go around washing each other's feet, but there are other ways we can serve each other and our neighbour. We can look out for someone who is struggling and lend them a hand. We can be willing to do things for other people. So I wonder what you think you can do to serve your neighbour and your friend. It might be that you can go and talk to someone who seems to be alone and needs a friend. It might be that you can raise awareness of an issue. Maybe raise some money for a charity. There are many things you can do. So as we look at this candle, I invite you to think about the Queen and her life of service to this country and the Commonwealth. Think about Jesus washing his disciples' feet and telling them to go and do likewise. And think about what you can do to serve other people. Loving God, we thank you for the Queen. We thank you for her dedication and her service to this country and the Commonwealth. We pray for your blessing upon her and her family as they continue to serve. And help us to serve one another and our neighbour each and every day. Amen. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Take care. Bye.